Okay, we're ready to get started again, and to my left is head coach Dawn Staley, Tiffany Mitchell, Alana Coates, and Olivia Gaines. And we'll begin with an opening statement from Coach Staley.
We're just truly excited, to still be in the NCAA tournament and moving to the Elite Eight. It was a great game by both teams. We do take our hat off to North Carolina. I know it's a shame that someone had to lose the game, but I'm glad it's not us. But we got great contributions, especially from the three players that are sitting next to me, to my left. And we're just excited about continuing to be able to play.
Okay, we'll go to questions for the student athletes first, and then we'll excuse them after that. Please identify yourself, again, name and affiliation, and then let us know which student athlete you want the question for.
David Cloninger of the state. For Olivia, have you ever shot a three-pointer that, kind of nicked the backboard and hit the rim and still went in? And for Tiffany, just what was your mindset on that final drive?
I never shot a three. I never shot a three that was that for that moment, but I was just ready when my number was called, and like always, and I just knocked it down.
Coach Staley drew up a play, kind of just to run the clock down and just take the last shot. I think I kind of shot too early because they still had another possession, but I think we defended well on the last possession, and I just saw how the defense was playing me. I just drove to the basket.
Okay, right here.
Brennan Doherty, Daily Gamecock. This was a game with a lot of lead changes and runs. How tough was this one emotionally throughout the game for you guys?
I don't think it would. It was kind of emotional, but we kind of just stayed the course, kept our head. We knew North Carolina was going to give us their best punch, and we knew they had runs in them, so we just had to answer them and just keep our head.
Alana, do you want to add to that?
I just think that, just to piggyback off of Tiff, we kept a level head, and we made sure that we executed and did what we needed to do.
Olivia?
I just think, we executed the game plan, and we came out with the win.
Brian Hand, Spurs and Feathers. Elena, you seem to have a really special drive tonight, 18 points, 10 rebounds, but you were 10 of 10 from the free throw line. Was that the thing that you're probably most proud of, that you were 10 of 10 from the line?
I do take pride in free throws. We're a team that's trying to, do better with that, and just that being able that I was able to go 100% from the line. It's a good feeling, just knowing that I was able to stay in my rhythm and knock down the shots. They ended up working out for our team and when we needed them.
Rick Henry, WIS-TV. Tiffany, what does it mean to finally get over that hurdle and to be one of the final 8 teams standing?
It means a lot just because, North Carolina ended our season last year. We talked about not repeating history in that manner, them beating us again and just making history and just making it to Elite Eight, which we did this time.
Aaron Beard with the AP. To follow up on that, Tiffany, you were saying you tried to stay the course and focus on what you were doing, but was it hard not to get a little bit, tense or nervous, considering it was 90 seconds and you're down 3 and, it was very close. If they would have gotten one more rebound, one more shot, it could have really increased the pressure. They were very close, I guess, at that point. Was it hard to kind of keep emotions in check at that point?
Just a little, just because of how the game was going back and forth. But Coach Staley calmed us down, and I think we just executed when we needed to.
Avery Wilkes with Gamecock Central. Olivia, were you trying to pick up a foul with that shot? And secondly, do you think that was the biggest shot of your career so far?
Yes, it may have been one of the biggest shots of my career, and I wasn't trying to pick up the foul. Somehow she fouled me, but we just got the points, and I'm happy with that.
David Caravella, Post and Courier. Tiffany, were there nerves? Were there nerves at the start? Like he's talking about that ragged beginning of the game, just what it took to get you guys kind of going.
I mean, North Carolina came out pretty aggressive. I think we came out kind of slow, and she just told us to kind of take a deep breath and let the game settle down some, and then we were going to be good. And I think that's what happened. We got in the rhythm, and it was just good from there on.
David Cloninger with the State. Elena, it seemed like you were pretty aggressive early on, and then I think you maybe had a calf injury. Just what went on with that injury, and how did it affect you throughout the rest of the game?
It didn't affect me too much. It was just a cramp. After our trainer, just massaged it out, I was good to go. It wasn't hurting or anything like that. I just kind of was a little lull in the game, but I mean, besides that, I was fine.
Brennan Darty, Daily Gamecock, you guys held Mavunga to just 4-12 from the field and Gray to 3 from 8. How big of an emphasis did you guys put on, obviously you guys were double teaming Mavunga on the block, but how big of an emphasis did you guys put on limiting those 2 players?
Tiffany, do you want to start?
We made a huge emphasis on trying to take those 2 out the game. North Carolina, a lot of stuff runs through those 2 players, so we knew they were going to get a lot of touches. So if we could limit their touches, North Carolina was going to have a hard time putting points on the board.
Alana?
Oh, same question? Sorry. Yeah, we just put a lot of emphasis on them, especially with Mavunga and the game that she had against Ohio State. We knew that if we let her get going, she was going to keep going, and we knew we had to nip that in the bud real quick. And then same thing with Gray. We just know that to take out the key players, it's hard for the rest of the team to revolve around difficulty. So we just made sure that we made it hard for them to be able to do such a thing.
Olivia?
Yeah, to follow back what they said, we just tried to eliminate Mavunga's touches and try to keep Gray out the out the 3-point line. And I think we did a good job with that.
For most teams playing in a region, playing in a game just 45 minutes away from the opponent's campus, you might think that might be a road atmosphere of sorts. That didn't seem to be the case. First off, did you guys notice how much fan support you had tonight, and what do y'all think about that?
Tiffany, go ahead.
We knew coming in we were going to have a lot of fan support. It's not that far from Columbia, so we knew they were taking buses and bringing probably 6 bus loads of fans? 9? No, 9 bus loads. So we knew it was going to be a lot of fans. We're going to see a lot of Garnet in the stands, which is going to try and give us as much home court advantage as possible, even though North Carolina was so close to home.
Elena?
Just piggybacking off of what Tiffany said, we were pretty much aware of how many busloads of people we had. We just wasn't expecting, that great of a number, 9 busloads. You don't really know. But we just really appreciate, Gamecock Nation and just the fact that they have our backs and they followed us all the way out here to Greensboro.
Olivia?
Fan support means a lot. They always have our back, and I'm glad they came tonight.
We have time for one more question here in the front.
Piggybacking off of that, Tiffany, it is in North Carolina. You were talking about the fans. Is it special to get that win over North Carolina in North Carolina?
Yeah, it means a lot. Just like I said, they ended our season last year. So being that it's a huge win that we get to go to Elite Eight, and I think it's even better and a program win for us, being that we lost in the past 2 times we played them.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to questions for Coach Staley.
You ready? Dawn, can you, during the timeout before Tiffany's winning basket, can you kind of walk us through what you talked about, what you wanted to get out of that play? And also, was Olivia in the game basically for defensive purposes? And I can't recall, was the shot clock running out, or did she just take that shot on her own?
Answer to your first question, in that timeout, we knew we had 1 timeout left. So we made it, very apparent that, we had that just in case they denied us the ball. What we wanted to accomplish was a play that we run a lot at the end of the game. It's a play that we run a ball screen into a screen for our shooter or a post entry. We wanted the ball in Tiffany Mitchell's hands, and we thought Tina Roy did a great job of just running our basketball team. So she was the one that was going to initiate it, and we tried to get her to delay it to where we took the last shot, and Tiffany, probably went a little bit sooner than we wanted her to, but. If anytime you get a basket, we'll take the basket and rely on our defense. And then, O was in a game, Olivia was in the game for energy. Obviously, she does a really good job at defending, but, she also does a great job at just spotting up and being ready to shoot the ball. And she doesn't second guess it. And thankfully, as we were walking in, I didn't know if she heard me when she was in front of our bench before she took that three. I just told her to be ready to shoot the ball. And being ready to shoot the ball for O means shoot the ball. And she shot the ball. It was getting down there. I think it was probably right around 10 seconds. So it was time for us to, take a smooth shot, within the flow of things. But our first look was to get the ball inside.
You talked about her handling the team, but Tina Roy had a lot of big buckets tonight. Can you talk about how big she was for your team?
I mean, Tina was huge. I thought she ran our team extremely well. It's something that she's done for us for many years. And I thought she did not take as many shots as I would have liked her to take because she got in the flow of, being a point guard and running our team. And, for us, she's one that can stretch the defense out. And I just thought she should have been a little bit more aggressive, like she was in the second half. But thankfully, she made some shots when we needed to make the shots. And that's what you want. You want to call on a senior in those situations. And they've been through a lot, in our program. And I was happy she just came through and always stayed ready.
David Caravello, Charleston Post and Courier. Don, can you just speak to your confidence in Tiffany in a situation like that and the way she can execute it, almost make it look effortless in the process?
Anytime that the game is on the line, Tiffany Mitchell will be around the ball. If she doesn't have the ball in her hands, if she's not a decoy of some sort, she is going to be involved in the play. We knew that she can create her own shot at any time. So we drew up the play to put the ball in her hands and for her to, put the S on her chest and be our superwoman.
Rick Henry, WIS-TV. Don, can you talk about the contribution that Elena made tonight to help you get to the Elite Eight? And also, just how nerve-wracking were those final minutes for you personally?
Elena's been big for us all season long, and, we understand. Anytime she has big games for us, we usually win the basketball game. And we wanted to make a concerted effort to get her the ball because I believe she made a matchup. She gave us a matchup advantage against North Carolina. And, the end of the game is nerve-wracking because you don't want your season to end. But I thought our team was really resilient. I thought it was a certain calm over the game. It was, where we were poised and we, didn't feel the moment in a way that we got too high emotionally. I thought we just stuck with things, and, when you're able to stick with things and stay poised, you're able to see a lot of options out there on the floor, and things don't get cloudy.
All the way to the left. Okay, well, then let's go to the middle here.
All right, from the 9 buses to the Gamecock Club event before this, and just the atmosphere at Garnet Black in North Carolina, just talk about how amazing that was from your vantage point.
Gamecock Nation is, has been truly been a blessing for our program. And, Gamecock Club does a tremendous job anytime that we're at home or on the road, they figure out a way to bring more people into the games. And, we don't win this game if we didn't have, our fans creating that home court advantage, giving us the extra energy that we needed to finish the game, allowing us to, feel the presence of, of their energy. And, we can't thank them enough, and we just hope that they'll show up in droves on Sunday afternoon.
David Cloninger with the State. Dawn, obviously it's big because of how the season ended last year, but do you think that you could potentially play anybody down the road who would be as physical and as talented inside and out as North Carolina? How big is it from that standpoint?
If you look at our potential opponents in Arizona State and Florida State, I think they can play, very similar, both of them. And I think for us, it's good that we saw the physicality of this type of game, and we were able to have some success. Probably a little bit too close for my comfort, but at this point of the season, you just want to survive and advance, and that's what our team put ourselves in a position to do.
Elena Coates' free throw shooting, 10 of 10 at the line. To have a post player as big and physical as she is, but also, I guess, focused and talented enough to, convert at the free throw line as well, how much of a luxury is that?
That's a huge luxury. I actually, I was looking at our stats earlier today, and I saw that she was shooting 70%. And, she's probably got a big boost from shooting 10 for 10 tonight. But she's got a soft touch. If we've been trying to get her to shoot those outside shots, those high post shots, all season long. Obviously she's very good at it, and if she's able to, get a little nerve to shoot it during the game, I think she can be, someone that can stretch the floor out and protect what she's able to do in the paint.
After this, we have time for one more question.
After Savannah State, you were talking about that Olivia Gaines had worked her way into getting more playing time. You've played her a lot more in this tournament. How special was it for her to hit that shot after earning those time?
I'm truly happy for Olivia. Olivia has been, a player in our program that deserves to play more, that deserves to get a lot more minutes than we've been able to give her. But it's a true testament of the type of person she is, to be able to sacrifice, to be able to sit and wait until your number's called and have the nerve, the energy, and the execution to make plays every single time that we call on her number. And, I don't think, she gets credit enough. She does get credit when she's able to make plays for us, but I think the credit comes in her ability to be ready to when she's not in, when her number's not called, and she's just waiting and she's cheering. And I think, in sports, you don't have that very often, when you have players who, is as good as everybody else on the team, but, doesn't get the, as many reps as they deserve. And, obviously, Olivia deserves a lot of credit for what she was able to help us do tonight.
Yeah, Dawn, forgive me if you've been asked this already. I was in your locker room a little while, but one of the things that her teammates say about Tiffany Mitchell is what a gym rat she is, how hard she works by herself. And I'm just wondering if you could kind of talk about that and how she's improved just by a lot of the work that she's put in that way.
Okay, Tiffany Mitchell is a two-time SEC Player of the Year. One that she got in her sophomore year, which is unheard of. Playing in our league. But when you see what she's been able to do from year 1 until year 3, the work that she's put in, I think she was one of her first year, she was just attacking the basket. She very rarely shot threes or pull-ups. And then, she started working on, she changed her shot between her freshman and sophomore year. to where she just got under it a little bit more. She got in the gym and worked before, after practice, you know, in the off season. And if there is a blueprint for, you know, becoming an All-American, I think she is. She sets the stage for, you know, having that, you know, that outline for how you become, you know, great at your sport. And it is sacrifice. It is, you know, figuring. And she's like at least like a 3.8 student. So she does her work so she can get in the gym and work. And, you know, when you're as balanced and driven as someone like Tiffany Mitchell, you're going to be successful.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Tomorrow, South Carolina will be here at 11 o'clock.